These are basically your before and afters, okay? So if we look at your left-hand one, okay, you can see as the club, I'm going to zoom in a little bit there, okay? You can see your lead knee is moving quite a bit there in that initial take. So the club hasn't gone sort of hip height, and that left knee is moving in quite a bit in there, okay? Now, part of the reason you were doing that, number one, there's a bit of tension at setup, stretching your arms out just a little bit more than we need to, gripping it quite tight in that right hand. So that's going to put tension up your right side. So for your right side now, if you're already stretching and you're gripping, your right arm, right shoulder, right part of your back there is going to be tight. We want that right side to rotate. If it can't rotate, it's got to go somewhere. You'll create and figure out a move. Well, okay, I'll kind of do this, and I'll contemplate sort of a backswing kind of with a bit of sway and lateral movement, which is what you did as a result of that top of the backswing. Now your knees have sort of gone past each other and very, very unstable movement. Trying to consistently swing that club there is going to be tough. Okay, you hit enough shots. Your first 10 shots you hit, by about 6 or 7, they're okay. First one was obviously a shank to the right, then you hooked one low left, and you top one, then you figured out where a good shot was going to be, and it was okay. Okay. This on the right hand side now, where we said take away your legs completely in terms of the movement, okay? As the club goes back now, same movement there, you can see your left knee is barely moving, okay? It will move, as we said. The feeling to you, though, is this left leg is going to sort of stay quite stable there, and your lower half quite quiet. What we want for you to do is your hips and your lower half to actually rotate this way, but rotate as a result of your top half rotating. So your chest, your torso, your shoulders, they're going to rotate, and this hip is just going to follow that right shoulder behind. What you were doing was kind of that, and then of course now if your knee goes this way, because it was going initially quite quickly, your hip goes this way. Now try and turn this shoulder back here. Where am I going to go? Put a lot of strain on your back. That's going to potentially cause some pain there. So if we can get that body rotating, okay, the lower half, when we get to the top of the backswing now, you're going to be a much more stable position to which to swing from. And that felt to you very legless, shall we say, in terms of no movement at all. As you can see, your left leg has moved in the correct amount, which is fine, okay? And that's what we'd expect. We expect your body to at least move somewhere. To keep it perfectly still, well, the club wouldn't get beyond there. You physically, no one can really sort of turn the club back that far. You'd be so stiff there. The good thing is the fact when you were taking the swing back with what felt very without much legs at all, you were still swinging through with quite a lot of leg movement through the ball, which is quite a rarity. Most tender guys sort of swing no legs on the way back and then just nothing on the way through because their brain can't think when's my backswing stop, when the downswing starts coming in. So the fact you're doing that is a good sign. Okay, so we can work on that posture. Sorry, the posture in terms of your arms not stretching. Work on your grip pressure, get nice and relaxed there. And a couple of those drills that we discussed, if I sort of draw a line down here now, if you imagine that sort of the edge of a wall, okay, the gap now between your right hip and the wall, you want to just rotate and try and increase in some ways that gap. Now, there's 2 ways you can increase it. Obviously, the correct way by just rotating your hip. This hip rotates back behind you, you get further from the wall. You can also go and do this, which I think we know people still, but then people sometimes they'll overdo a move to try and just, get real good, get as much space as I can. Now, yes, creating space from that wall will help create power to a point. There is a potential, though, to create too much space where you've gone the other way. Okay, it's always like that sort of Goldilocks effect. You've got too hot, too cold. There's not enough space, too much space. It's finding that perfect sort of gap, shall we say, where you rotate from the wall and your lower half, your lower half is rotating with the top half to actually create more of a blend between top and bottom. In the past, I think your lower half was doing one thing and your top half was trying to do something else, and they just couldn't work together. So you're fighting each other. And eventually you'd figure out some good shots. Playing 3 times a week, your timing was probably quite good, because if you're playing 3 games a week, hitting probably maybe 1 or 2 maybe sessions down the range possibly, or before and after, you just warm-ups, you're in the best part 200 balls. That's 1,000 balls a month. That's 12,000 balls a year minimum, okay? That's a lot of golf balls to be hitting, so to get into a good rhythm and finding where that golf ball is. And eventually when you play a course regularly, you kind of figure out what the feeling is for every single hole. Like on the first, if I get my driver, just do this, that's my first, and you just kind of start playing golf that way. Then when you're in a different golf course, what's the feeling on this tee? Oh, I'm going now. Okay, so if we can get your swing just to be more kind of in sync, a bit more user-friendly, a little bit less variables going on and swaying and lateral movement, at least then when you pick up a game of golf now, you might have a game where you might not play for a couple of weeks because of what's going on now with this isolation stuff. We don't know. At least you can come back then. Okay, right, I can still play now because the swing is all working together rather than hips going this way, shoulders trying to do this, and all over the place. Yeah. Yep. That kind of makes sense there. Yeah. Understand? Yeah. Good. Yeah. I think if we just again.
I just need to keep working on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think as I'm going to be doing some home videos, should we say, in terms of like exercises we can do at home. If you want to keep following them, I'll send this video through anyway. There'll be some links in the description, obviously, to explain, like in my YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, just stuff in terms of helping golfers, not just for yourself personally, but other people. There'll be other movements we can talk about, how to work, and hey, just get some practice done at home if we are going to be stuck indoors for a few weeks or months, whatever. So, okie dokie.
Perfect.
Good stuff. Right, mate. Right, have a couple more then, and then we'll see how it goes from there.